what do you think there's something that we could do to stop this? Like, you know what I mean, if we're against this?
Honestly, I don't know. I have no idea.
Say something, I'm giving up on you.
Oh yeah, what do you think we're showing here right now?
How pigs are being treated?
Yeah, basically how pigs are being treated, right? On this particular screen, each screen is a little bit different, but what we're doing right here is we're showing standard industry practice in the animal agriculture industry. So things that maybe you don't see typically on TV very often, or maybe at all, and just kind of how the standard industry, you know, produces meat, essentially, you know what I mean? Like if you're thinking, how's the bacon getting my table, or how's the ham getting my table? Like these are the steps, like before it gets to the table, you know what I mean? Which obviously, based on your reaction, is disturbing for sure. Why do you think this footage isn't shown? Maybe people don't see this or show this.
Yeah, well, because it's how, you know, they're being. Oh my God, that's so sad. Oh, they're being abused.
The reason
to our table.
The reason they do this is because they think that if they lay down, their muscles won't work. So they force them to get up as part of their exercise. So they beat them until they stand up, and then they walk away. That's it.
Still eating from the mom. Wait, was she dead?
These are the ones that are force bred. So they're constant breeders, constantly breeding and breeding over and over and over until they can't stand. And then they're killed for very cheap meat. You know, the cheap, like very cheap, like cheap pork, you know what I mean? Like that's where this comes from, like the spent, they call them sows, which are the mothers. And they slam the baby pigs, the ones that are like either too weak or nearly dead, they kill them on the spot, the baby pigs. This is also standard, like that means that they're gonna kill them, like after they're done living this life. And this is pretty much how most pork products are produced. And kind of how they're treated. Some of them, when they're dead, too heavy to pick up. Waste products, sometimes they're just buried. This is free range. So free range just means like you have an open door somewhere, essentially. Very similar treatment, still living in their feces. You know, maybe some like can't walk, they break their legs, no medical treatment. They cannibalize each other. Sometimes they eat each other when there's not enough supervision. And so, what do you think there's something that we could do to stop this? Like, you know what I mean? If we're against this.
Honestly, I don't know. I have no idea.
Yeah, right? Most people don't think so. Everyone here that you see right here actually took a pledge to eliminate consuming animals on their product. And it is because they didn't like the taste. I used to love bacon, you know what I mean? I used to love ham. I love Christmas time, you know, where you're gonna have a ham dinner, you know what I mean? I love those sort of things. And when I saw this and I first started witnessing this, I ate meat for 29 years. Typical American diet, burgers, hot dogs, Mexican food, everything that works, you know, carne asada, burrito, fries, everything.
Right.
And when I started seeing footage like this and seeing what animals go through to make it to our plate, I said I don't want to support that. So I started looking for things that I could support. Okay, this one's a little bit better, free range. Then I watched what happened to free range. Like, fuck, it's still not good. I'm like, maybe organic, like still, oh, it's not good. And like, finally it got to a point where I realized, okay, you know, going vegan, right, which seems kind of extreme, is less extreme than what these animals go through. So going vegan was more aligned by my values, right? Like I had certain values where I wouldn't harm a dog, or I wouldn't kick a chicken, I wouldn't kill a pig like in this manner, right? But my actions didn't really align with my own morals, my own values, you know what I mean? Until I went vegan, until I, you know, took the animal products off my plate, then I knew at least I wasn't consuming that. But then after 6 months later, I was like, it's not enough, I want to do a little bit more. So I was like, what else can I do? Organization like this, it's called Anonymous for the Voiceless. This is a Cube of Truth, which is a demonstration, right? And so what we do is we share what's happening in the standard industry practice and have conversations with people to see, you know, give them the other side. Maybe answer some questions. This is a time for maybe people thought about veganism. They're like, oh, I don't know if I can get enough protein on a vegan diet, you know, stuff like that, you know what I mean? There's all kinds of questions, you know what I mean? Is this something that you guys ever thought about?
And we noticed, we've talked about it before, like we notice a difference in like in how we feel physically and all that. Like when we have red meat, like it's, you definitely feel
We don't really have red meat very often.
There's certain certain things, dude. I always tell people like we don't really drink milk at our house. Milk, I think, is so strange that people drink milk. You know what I mean? Like grown adults drinking another animal's milk. Our pediatrician will get on us because we don't give my 2-year-old son milk. And he's like, why don't you
never
guys?
had cow milk. It's always been almond milk.
And he's perfectly fine. But she's like, why don't you guys give him cow milk? I'm like,
It is a little bit strange, right?
It's so strange that a trained medical professional would be hassling me because I don't give my son milk, you know? It's really strange, but I'm just kind of like...
Oh, that brings a really big question, is like trained medical professional is a very interesting word, because typically in the medical industry, they are trained on medicine, but they're not trained on food. And they're often not trained on the nutrition side, so they're not trained how foods interact with your body, what foods do this, what foods might cause, this type of disease or that sort of stuff. So they are giving the knowledge that they either learned on their own, you know what I mean, and not really typically in the medical field. Yeah. That's an interesting point.
It's pretty wild, dude. Like a good example is like my sister, she's 17. You're like prime age for, acne and all kinds of crazy stuff. She quit drinking milk, and it all went away on her own, and she was having other health issues. All that stuff went away just by cutting out
the hormonal balances in dairy, like all of it together, is incredible, because it was really essentially like cow's milk is designed to take a baby cow to grow up to 500, 600, 800 pounds in a very quick manner to protect him from predators. So he's bigger than the predators around him. You know what I mean? And when you put that same substance, into us, you know what I mean? It has all kinds of different hormonal imbalances, because the hormones are very different. We don't have the genetics of a baby cow. You know what I mean? So genetically, like biologically, it's not really designed for humans at all. The milk that's designed for us is our mother's milk, and every other mammal that drinks milk is taken off of milk at some point, right? I mean, and it's natural. It's not like okay, less milk for you. Just at some point they know, and then that's it, and they don't ever try again. You know what I mean? We're the only ones that are kind of let's go back for some more. But I think the reason why, when I think about it deeper than ethics or health or anything like that, it's financials. Like it makes money, it makes a lot of money, and it's very easy. If I were to take a cow and raise it and make it pregnant and then have it give milk and take the milk and sell the milk, I don't have to ask anybody. There's no commitment, there's no agreement, there's no labor terms. I don't have to pay you for labor. You're essentially a slave, and you get a produced product for me. And when you do that for thousands of years, you get used to it, until you start asking those questions. Why cow's milk? Why not dog milk? Or why not monkey milk or rat's milk, right?
People will say like, ew, goat's milk.
Yeah.
Or ew, plant milk. Like, how does that taste?
Like soy milk.
From a plant.
Yeah, that's literally just like the soy or the cashews or the almonds are soaked. They're soaked and then they're add water and they're blended.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Look at the process. If you watch the process of milk, that's even worse. You get more disgusted. The amount of feces or blood that gets inside the milk.
We watched a documentary on Netflix.
Oh, which one?
I don't know what it was called. It was a while back.
It was about the animals or about health?
It was about
the animals.
Like the whole meat industry and milk and all that stuff.
I forgot the name of it.
What the Health, maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was the first one I saw.
We were like, that's when we decided, like, you know what, we're not drinking milk. We're not giving our son milk.
Athletes. Remember you saw that?
Game Changers.
Oh my god.
The Game Changers. Oh yeah. That one's amazing.
I watched it. He still hasn't watched it.
Oh yeah, that one's so great because it shows what's possible on a plant-based diet. Because most people think, like, I remember I used to think, oh, I'm gonna get sick, oh, I'm not gonna have enough nutrients, I'm gonna be hungry, all these sort of things. But I said, let me try it. What the Health, I watched What the Health first and I said, let me just try it. You know what I mean? Man, if you just try it and you do it for like a month and really see how you feel, like really commit to a month, like man, like you'll be really surprised at how you feel.
I'll tell you what, like I was, we make an effort to be as vegetarian as possible at our house.
Yeah.
Because we don't really want to teach our son, he's one.
Yeah.
So we don't want to teach him to, just eat meat
and like if you teach him, like, do you teach him like this? You know what I mean? Like, would you show not at this age at 1, but is this something you show your kid? Like, if he
was that age, he would probably start crying. He loves that.
Oh, now, yeah, but that's, if you eat this, like, this is what you pay for, essentially. Like I always question, I'm not saying to teach your kids this, but I'm saying when I have kids, like, what age do I show them, like, what really happens to make them have an informed decision? All we're doing is giving some more information, you know what I mean? And at the end of the day, it's up to you what you what you decide. But each time you go into the supermarket, we are funding this. You know, when we buy, you know, these products, you know what I mean. And there are other options and alternatives, and you have the Beyond Meat burgers and those other ones that taste like meat. I don't know if you tried some of them. There's some that taste really close, you know. And
we buy my son a lot of veggie chicken nuggets.
Yeah,
You can't tell the difference.
Oh yeah.
You can't even tell it. It's
Oh, yeah.
mashed up
Or we
chickpea.
buy veggie patties. He loves veggie patties. We love
Yeah,
veggie.
it's so much better.
We try to be vegetarian.
And that might not seem like a big deal, like once in a while, but that's long-term damage if it's 3 times a day, you know, and your body's not getting a chance to repair. Yeah. Well, anyways, what was your name?
Jesus.
Jesus?
Yeah.
Kevin. Nice to meet you.
Yesenia.
Yesenia? Kevin, nice to meet you. Here's some cards. It seems like you've done some research, but here's a couple more cards, some more information, you know, a couple good resources, even a challenge. There's a challenge22.com if you want to go on a challenge and really like say,
We've
you know,
been wanting to get to actually commit
if you
to
go
a
on,
vegan diet.
yeah, if you
It's
go on
just hard.
Facebook, it is hard. If you go on Facebook, Challenge 22, you can do the challenge together. You know what I mean? And with that challenge, you get like nutritionists and dietitians.
It's hard for me because I'm the one who cooks, and I don't know what to cook because I've never been.
Oh yeah, you get the recipes. You get the recipes from that site as well. You ask them
It's a lot
recipes.
of work, but it's like I've told her it's difficult, and I find a lot of people are just too lazy to even try it because they make so much other crap like so cheap and readily available. You know?
Oh, I'm not saying this is easy.
It's like
for sure.
It's
Yeah.
like so.
It's like I always say, like it's less about not right or wrong, but it's like for me the way it helps me go forward, even though there might be really big challenges, you know, in the world. As I say, you know, wrong is wrong, even if everyone's doing it, and right is right, even if no one's doing it. So when I feel like small and I feel like maybe this is extreme or this is hard, I think first the animals, like what are they going through, like to get the pay, and then I think for me personally, you know, I just know that even though not everyone's doing it, this is the right thing to do right now. You know what I mean? Like if I'm going to spend my Saturday night, like I wouldn't mind spending my Saturday night helping, you know, speak up for animals.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And at least getting other people a chance to make those kind of connections. You know, that's to me like the way I look at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's pretty well.
Well, thank you so much for the info.
It's really cool.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. Yeah. Give it a shot.
Definitely been
You
considering.
know, watch the Game Changers.
trying.
Yeah, even watch that one because that one's fun,
I watched
and that one's really well produced. Yeah, it gives you kind of like a little bit. Plus, when you're thinking about doing something, it makes you focus a little bit more intensely. You know what I mean? If you're like, oh, I'll never do that, but I'll watch it anyways, you're already like blocked. You know what I mean? But if you're like, maybe I can do this. Let's. You're ready to take in the information a little bit better. You know what I mean? I think we're like that with everything. Like if you were studying to be a lawyer, you know what I mean? Someone's like, hey, you want to check out this law book I have? It's really fun. You'd be like, fuck that. But if you're studying for law school, okay, I'll focus on this a little bit, you know? I'll give it a shot because I kind of got to pass a test at some point. Yeah, you're just like more interested, right?
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, Jose, Yesenia, nice meeting you guys. Oh, Jesus, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Jesus.
No worries at all.
All right, thank you guys, absolutely. I'll see you guys.
Thank you so much for
Thank
the
you.
And I'm feeling so small. It was over my head.